I'm Marvin Plackett, and today is Wednesday, June 17th. Greetings to all residents, to all staff, and to all guests. I'm pleased to say that we have no new confirmed COVID-19 cases, and one of our staff that I reported yesterday as being positive, that one staff person has been cleared. They are back on the schedule. So welcome back, Pat. Pleased to then report that as of right now, we have a total of 6 active cases. 2 are residents and 4 are staff. It would have been late last week that I reported, or else, so it's Wednesday, it would have been Monday, that I reported that with the death of Jogues, a resident who had lived for many years at Seabury, that brought the total of deaths that we have at Episcopal homes to 3. But in fact, that was incorrect. It's 4. With Jogues passing, that's the 4th death that we have experienced at Episcopal homes as a result of COVID-19. So I wanted to get our statistics as correct as possible. So I wanted to clarify that. And then a reminder that testing will occur at the gardens next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. All residents and all staff at the gardens will be tested. So very pleased about that. All residents and staff have already been tested at Episcopal Church Home and at Iris Park Commons. A reminder, social distancing, wearing of face masks, and frequent hand washing. Vital techniques that we have at our disposal to use at all times. That's what helps keep you safe and me safe. All of us safe. I have a very short report today, so I decided to bring in a little humor. And this is a story. This story, in fact, it has a local connection to Minneapolis. But this story goes back a little over 20 years ago. So at the time when computers were not ubiquitous. Of course, these days, we carry around our laptops everywhere. We have our iPads or our smartphones or whatever, or there's desktops. And so, again, computers are everywhere these days, but they were not back there 20 years ago, or just slightly over 20 years ago. And also back there in the late 1990s, turn of the century, emailing was still fairly new. Well, the setting of this story goes back to that time when it was emailing and the computers being around everywhere where it was relatively new. They weren't around everywhere. So here's the story. A couple from Minneapolis decided to go to Florida for a long weekend to thaw out during one particularly icy winter. They planned to stay at the same hotel where they had spent their honeymoon 20 years before. Because they both had jobs, they found it difficult to coordinate their travel schedules. So it was decided that the husband would fly to Florida on Thursday and his wife would follow him the next day. Upon arriving as planned, the husband checked into the hotel. In his room, there was a computer. So he decided to send his wife an email back in Minneapolis. However, he accidentally left out one letter in her address, in her email address, and sent the email without realizing his error. In Houston, a widow had just returned from her husband's funeral. The dearly departed was a minister who had been called home to glory following a heart attack. The widow checked her email, expecting messages from relatives and friends. Upon reading the first message, she fainted. The widow's son rushed into the room, found his mother on the floor, and saw the computer screen which read, "To my loving wife, subject, I've arrived. You're probably surprised to hear from me. They have computers here now, and you are allowed to send emails to your loved ones. I've just arrived and checked in. I see that everything has been arranged for your arrival tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing you then. Hope your journey is as uneventful as mine was. P.S. Sure is hot down here." See you tomorrow at 1:30. Take care, be well.